Whoa, 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 whoop, 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 whoa, whoa, wait, 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 wait. Hey, hey, good morning, good morning. How is everyone today? Um, I'm just looking for, where is it? I think this is it. Wait, is this it? Is this it? No, this isn't it. Good morning, good morning. You're joining us for the Christian Anime Podcast, episode 7. Episode 7 of the Christian Anime Podcast. You've got the Anime Kid. Oh, he's new. Welcome, DJ. Welcome, Truth. Welcome, also Games a Lot. Welcome, John D. Welcome, John D. Um, Before we get into the content today, I wanted to. Should I make a comment about the German election? um, I don't know. I don't know. Should we? Yeah, it's only the seventh episode. Well, officially, anyway. Okay. Before we get, so you've already read the title of the video, title of the live stream. Oh, whoops, no data. Wait, am I about to cut out? No, I'm not gonna cut out. I haven't logged into Discord for a while. I was on Discord yesterday. Okay, my YouTube studio is saying that there's no data coming through, which is wrong. Okay, excellent connection. Good. We're back on track. We are back on track, chat. All right. Before we get into the this one here, yeah, into our actual content today, let's comment on the German election. It's very cool. Conservatives back in. They're probably going to form a coalition with a minor party like the SPD, which is like the socialists. So sorry, the black bar here. That's the Christian Democratic Union, or plus their sister party, the Christian Social Union in Bavaria. So, um, in Germany, there's way more parties in the election. It's not like the U.S. where there's only two. So the black party there is like the equivalent would be the squishy Republicans. So it's the Republican branch of like Mitt Romney. Who else? Mitt Romney, Mitch McConnell, those sorts of people, right? They're the not so populist, right? They're like the establishment, right? Um, in Germany, and then the AfD, Alternative for Deutschland, or Alternative for Germany, did get around 20%, and this is like the Trumpist kind of party, Trump right kind of party. So the big controversy, of course, is that the CDU isn't going to form a coalition with the AfD, so they're not going to work with them. So yeah, this is about politics. So I just wanted to comment on it because it's amazing. It's good. It's good. Like conservative. The fact that in Germany there is like a Christian Democratic Union, like the Christian democracy, in Europe is like a much bigger thing. Um, so there you go. They're there. They are there. They are there. All right. So today we're going to be responding to hate comments though. Um, I am I think all of these are funny, unironically. One of my favorite things to do is read comments, especially hate comments, because they come up with some of the funniest things I've ever read. Um, so of course I love all the love comments, right? That's one of my other favorite. The two reasons why I love reading comments is because I love reading what you guys have to say, and you guys just like really liking the content and really receiving the content well. So I really appreciate you guys. All this really accounts to a humility being non-existent, and creating non-existent problems for themselves. Well, my judgment was based on your username and your kindness, but I think that's enough to make a rational decision. Yes, yes, yes. Um, so yeah, I am so I love reading your comments, guys. So keep putting really encouraging comments, because I love just going through them, responding to some of them, putting a heart next to them. Like those are the things that I love. Welcome, Red Hussar. Welcome. So yeah, let's. I'm gonna make a response to each of these now. The last time I put a comment on like the community tab, I got a really heated response by some of the people in the comments saying that I'm actually wrong and I need to actually give a response. So this is the video for it as well, so that you guys don't get angry and I'm actually responding to comments now. This is the first one, which we'll go through. I posted this on the community tab and everyone just went absolutely insane. So I'll show you what I mean. So I can understand why YouTube recommended me this video, but looking at your content, I don't think you understand what makes something like anime that's so divisive in the Christian world, as you don't see Christian anime at all. Christian anime at all. Just blatantly saying an anime is Christian just to have an idiosyncratic take for content shows your lack of understanding. I have a lack of understanding. That's perfectly fine. Anime isn't Christian, and although it may share Christian values, it doesn't in fact make it any Christian. You may say Islam is Christian when in fact it's not, and just like Islam, 100% of anime isn't Christian. I should hope you would take the time to actually study Christian theology. And of course, the way that I usually, because unless it's for content, and we're doing content right now. This is we're doing content right now where we're discussing it, and I'm live streaming and I'm chatting to you guys. Podcast son sounds exhausted. I just woke up. I just woke up, mate. So I don't wanna hear you. You J2 Smooth, I'm sure you're still an OG. The hate comments always got me dying. Yeah. And later on you can draw at a high level or make a manga. I'll be rooting for you, Asher. Really, Asher is a drawer. I love people who like we need way more people drawing like drawing stuff. So that's always good. It's always good to see that. We need more Christian artists, and we need more Christian anime artists in particular, because we need way more people drawing anime. It's a good thing. All right, so my response to this was counterpoint: anime is still Christian whether you like it or not. So that's just my response to it, because I think if you haven't watched, especially if you haven't watched the video, what makes a Christian anime, I don't want to hear you saying like, "Oh, this anime is not Christian." Like these are the sorts of things. Sorry if you saw this and didn't want to respond. How do you feel on Redeemed Zoomer's new evolution video? What? He had a new he did a new evolution video. That's news to me. We might react to that this stream. Huh. Okay, cool. I guess we're gonna react to that on stream. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. I didn't know. So, as I said, again, usually the way that I respond to hate comments is, unless it's for a video, like we're doing it right now, I usually don't comment. And like, guys, I really appreciate I sometimes go scroll down, especially with Mr. Kenyon Bowers. We're not gonna address some of what Kenyon Bowers is saying, mainly because he is Kenny. Like he apparently apologized. Well, he did apologize, I should say. So he sent a representative on behalf of him to say that he apologizes for like the very militant way that he's been very anti-anime. So like he's a cool guy. So we're not going to actually respond to him today, even though like I've absolutely lambasted him, and I know a lot of you guys have absolutely lambasted him in the comments. So I appreciate you guys going out there to defend me. Of course, like that's why I don't ever write a reply in the comments anymore. It's because like you guys are already there. Like I don't need to do it. John Tippin, $2. if you wore a fedora, you'd get hat comments. I wouldn't want to wear a fedora because I'm not gay. So there you go. Is Salami here? Welcome, Salami. Welcome, Salami. All right. So some of your guys' comments in here. Okay, I understand what this comment is saying. I don't think that he has it all correct though. Here's why I think this channel is good. As a Christian, our lives revolve around us trying to be the light of the world. The goodness of the world could be attributed to God. Therefore, I can say that any media that we see that shares our values as Christians should be acknowledged, just as we always recognize the Lord's works. Oh no, I think this is a good comment. No, sorry, that's a good comment. I think I must have pinned this. All right, guys, if you don't, if you haven't watched the Mashuka Tensei video yet, then don't make a comment on it. Right? It's the literally the title of the video is Christian Reviews Mashuka Tensei. It isn't that Mashuka Tensei is a Christian anime. It's a Christian review of Mashuka Tensei. So don't. I don't want to hear it. The only reason why I'm covering it is because I've got a lot of recommendations that I should at least cover it. And I think you'll be surprised about my response as I watch the video. So yeah, I know you're worried. I know you're worried, so don't do it. Don't do it. He isn't wrong. There isn't any explicit Christian anime, but to act like there's any. Oh, sorry. When I first read through some of these comments, like these guys, I thought these guys were being unreasonable, but these are actually pretty reasonable takes. That person's comment okay, here we go. That person's comment sounds extremely logical. I can see why you'd respond like that. I'd respond like in an illogical way. This guy as well. He hasn't been commenting a lot, so. There's that. Oh, here we go. My dear fellow, no Christian that I know was made by professing Christians with an intentionally Christian message. Sure, plenty have themes and messages consistent with Christian values and morals, but I have never heard any evidence that it is intentional. Of course, so I think this guy here as well. He's absolutely correct. I get trying to find Christian teachings in everything you watch, but that doesn't mean those things you watch were intended to have Christian teachings, nor do the writers care about it. Anime is one of the furthest things from Christianity when it comes to entertainment. It might have moral teachings, but that doesn't make it Christian. Also, try to counter arguments with real answers instead of repeating your initial stance. That's not a counter argument. So, anyway, all right. This got me a lot of flack. But why is it that I keep saying, like, I'm very intentional in my phrasing that I say this is a Christian anime or blank is a Christian anime. And again, if you haven't watched the video on what makes a Christian anime, I'll shorten it for you, right? The reason why I want to do it is because we're creating a meta-narrative here. It's a meta-narrative that's based in truth, right? When we look at anything around the world, anything around us, the whole of creation cries out the glory of God, right? The whole of creation does it. And that includes anime, right? When anime portrays certain Christian values, when anime portrays that, like the reason why I say this is a Christian anime is because these aren't just like secular generic humanist values. No, they are Christian values, right? And that's why I'm intentional, and that's why we want to be creating this meta narrative that this is a Christian anime, or like Oshinoko is a Christian anime, or Kaiju number 8 is a Christian anime. The reason why we're doing this is because that's the whole point. That's the whole point of us trying to create a meta narrative. It's the same reasoning behind like, oh, K-On! Is a racist anime. No, K-On's not a racist anime. It's just that it's associated with people who are a bit more right-wing and also a bit racist. That's the sort of narrative that I want to create with us guys, right? Which is like us, we who are Christians who are also who are also watching anime. So that's the whole thing. Angel Studios, I don't know. I still haven't decided what I feel about Angel Studios. Cause yeah, I'm gonna give you a hot take right here. I think unless it's made in Japan, I don't think it's anime. Like I'm very purist in terms of this definition of what is considered an anime. You could say Western shows were made in an anime art style, but I don't think you could say that it's anime, right? So Gabriel, the Guardian thing, what was it? I can't remember what the name is, but Gabriel and the Guardians, whatever the name is. Hot take, I don't think is an anime. It's a Christian cartoon. Yeah, that's what it is. Like I think it's a Christian cartoon. Um, but yeah, anime inspired would be the best way to say it. But I don't think, like, I wouldn't consider it as an anime. Is Korean stuff anime? There's a different name for it. That's why it's like, so manga. Manga is in reference to like Japanese manga, and then manhwa is like Korean manhwa. I'm gonna see if is there a term referring to Korean anime. Hmm. It appears not. I guess that's it. Manhwa. I wasn't aware that manhwa was also in reference to Korean anime. So yeah, there you go. That's my hot take. That's my hot take. It is manhwa. Yeah. Um, Solo leveling. I really want to. At some point, I gotta cover solo leveling because it is a popping off. Angel Studios anime was made by a Japanese anime studio in concert with Angel Studios. Really? I had no idea. If that's the case, but it's still got the Angel Studios name on it. Like, that's the thing, right? Which is, I think I'm still purist on this, right? We're not doing it. What about Cyberpunk Edge Runners? It is a Japanese studio, but all the writers are Western. That goes into gray area right now, and I don't want to. I don't want to. You could say it's in a gray area. Like that's all I'll say about it. I think there are some things in it which really make it distinctly Japanese. Like the creators of Cyberpunk Edge Runner say, no, it's not that. It's not that. I think when I first heard the comment that one of the main characters, Rebecca, apparently the studio said no, Rebecca has to be a lolly. I think those are the sorts of things that make it distinctly Japanese, which is why I would consider it as a um, as an anime, rather than like a Western cartoon. So there you go. There you go. There you go. All right. So anyway, coming back to my point here, um, as I continue to reiterate, I'm very intentional in saying that blank is a Christian anime. Like, this is a Christian anime because it's ultimately all to point back to Christ and point back to God. That the values that we're seeing in anime, that the storylines that we're viewing in anime, the fact that we are able to connect them to our faith, it's amazing. It's an amazing thing for us to do. It's an amazing thing for us to see. That's why I'm very intentional that in using the phrase Christian anime. And I know, like, I've read way too many comments now saying that, oh, you should say you should title your videos as Christian reviews dot 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 dot, dot rather than Christian than dot 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 is a Christian anime, because like it's apparently very clickbaity. It's not clickbaity, because like that's the story we're wanting to tell. The story that we're wanting to tell is, um like, I've already set out our definitions. We're creating a new term here, so there you go. What about the anime the Pope commissioned Osamu Tezuka to make? I've no idea. I've no idea what that is. Welcome, TJ. Welcome, TJ. Lollies are the defining feature of anime. That's it. Anime kid. Yeah, what's your question? Just write your question, and if I notice it, then I'll I'll read it out. Who else? Technically, most Western cartoons are manhwa since they're pretty much all animated in Korea. I had no idea, really. Blank as a Christian anime is pretty funny because you could say anything as a Christian anime. No, as long as, like, okay, no, you can't say anything as a Christian anime. Like, for example, you can't say Era Manga Sensei is a Christian anime. No, of course not. It's Garbaggio. That's why I phrased it the way I did, which is a Christian review of Era Manga Sensei, or even Mashoka Sensei. That ain't a Christian anime. I'm sure that really did make me very interested, right? Like, because I know a lot of I got a lot of comments saying that I should watch Mashuka Sensei. I know Nick with no K also likes Mashuka Sensei. Um, so like I know a lot of Christians do enjoy it. So there you go. Interspecies Reviewers is certainly not a Christian anime. Yeah, for real, for real. I, as a minister, actually watch things like Severance to point out Illumination, Freemasonry, paganism. Same with anime, and I think of Bible verses that show the Christian way. Oh, that's very cool. Very cool. Anime Kid. What are some satanic anime so I can avoid them? Um. Oh, I couldn't tell you. I think so. I always try to focus on the positives. Or like I don't think. Sorry, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. I think if unless an anime is literally worshipping Satan, hentai is satanic. Okay, I'm happy to say that. I'm happy to say that. I think Has Been Hotel is not an anime. The devil is a part-timer makes the devil innocent, but it's not really worshipping Satan. Oh boy. No, I think TJ, I think that's a case. Like I think that might be satanic. Devil is a part-timer. Um, I'd say that's satanic because it's genuinely saying that the devil, it's portraying the devil in a really cute light rather than showing him in the way that he is actually real. Yaoi and Yuri anime are definitely satanic. That's for sure. That's for sure. Um, but yeah, I tend not to say, but I tend not to say that something is satanic because unless it's like very if it's glorifying sin, there you go. You can say that's satanic. Um, but ultimately, I try not to say things that are satanic unless they are actually promoting Satan, right? So there you go. The thing is it's like welcome to demon school. That sounds satanic to me. Anything that's this is the big thing in anime, right? Which is it's like a promotion of like succubuses, and like it's saying that succubus characters are actually a good thing. What category does Hotel fall? Has Been Hotel. It's a cartoon. That's what it is, John D. It's a silly cartoon. It's also it. Blue Exorcist has Satan in it. Blue Exorcist. I've only read a little bit, so I'm not gonna make a judgment on it right now. I've only read like the first 10 books, 10 manga, 10 books of the manga. There you go. I don't know what overcame me right there. Goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious me. All right. With that, so there you go. I hope I've Gabriel Dropout. Oh boy, I'm pretty sure it is. I'll have to watch it because I know in Gabriel Dropout again it's like making Satan look cute, and it's not, and I think that's a bad thing. That's genuinely a really bad thing. The fact people actually thought it was an anime because I said that. Um, I meant it as a joke. It isn't a Christian anime. Has Been Hotel seems like it was written by an edgy 15-year-old. I feel like that's all millennials right now. All millennials who are atheists are all edgy 15-year-olds who haven't grown up. That's all it is. So, yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next comment. We're zooming. Oh, actually, I think I was going. Here we go. This was pretty funny to me when I first read this. So you want to do the same thing that woke people do, but Christian flavored. If so, I'll be sure to gatekeep you if I can. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. I'm going to be gatekeeping. I'm going to be gate kept, not gatekeeped. Far out. Um, for the record, even the Christian and right-wing content creators I have watched have less shallow takes than you do. Feels like you are the most basic, safe Sundays BS NPC talking points ever. You release your Madoka Magica video to the public. I'll show you. I'll show you how that's more antichrist than 100 Kanojo. The guys as well. if any of my haters are here as well, I need you to write properly in proper syntax and proper grammar, or else I'm just gonna keep tripping over myself, especially if I've just woken up. Goodness, which you are so shallow you can't see Rentaro is the opposite of a self-insert. You don't rank Makima in bottom tier, even though she's literally the opposite of Proverbs woman. Your Christianity is performative, and it's this sort of stuff, right? Which is like English is a lost art. Damn, you're right about that. You're right about that. I wish people could write and type better. I think he's referring to 100 Kanajo, which is the 100 girlfriends who really, 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 really love you. And I'm pretty sure I said 5 reallys because that's the actual name. Um, that is my prevailing complaints for hate comments. Yeah, which is like the grammar. Like you gotta. I can't tell if that's a joke comment. No, trust me, trust me. Atalia. Oh, welcome, Atalia. This is like your. I haven't seen you around here, Atalia. I think I wish I had the same benefit of the doubt that I could give to this comment, that it could be a joke comment. Yeah, it could be. But yeah. The John D, if you haven't watched my video on it, it's a really it's a real doozy. The 100 girlfriends who really, really, really love you. Can't use hoodies even if a hood isn't used, but can use a pentagram. I don't know what you mean there, Miguel. Can they not tell when you're joking or being lighthearted? I couldn't say. Like, okay, this is my one complaint about this, right? The most safe, basic Sunday school BS NPC talking points. All right, guys. This guy obviously hasn't watched my channel. I have condemned homosexuality before. Like, I'm strong against the homosexuals. I have said that's a sin, right? I talk about sin a lot, right? Or I don't. Sorry, I retract that. Maybe I do need to talk about sin a lot more, because I clearly don't talk about it enough. I really do need to talk about sin more. That's the thing. I have not seen Blue Lock Anime Kid, and I refuse. Your Makima comment was obviously trolling. Well, oh yeah, no. I think that's one of my funniest videos that I've done ever. Full stop. Because I think it's just. I really love it. It's really funny to me. I love it when I do hot takes like that, which is like Makima is doing it. Sunday school bus. No, I think he's referring to Sunday school, as in it's just like if you haven't been to Sunday school before, it's like kids going to Sunday school while parents go to actual big church to hear the preacher preaching. So yeah. What else? Yeah, so that's all I can defend myself really, because I think to refer to me as like Sunday school BS NPC talking points, I also want to be your Sunday school teacher crashed out. That's really unfortunate. Oh really? Well, welcome Atalia. I hope you have fun. You have fun here. Speaking of which, why the heck is there even a manga anime with the name Seven Deadly Sins? I don't like Seven Deadly Sins very much. I think it's inspired by the Seven Deadly Sins. So it's like all of the characters are representative of one sin. That's all it is. So yeah, you can talk about anime in Sunday school. I am not. Hey, the reason why this is a YouTube channel. One of my big pet peeves is when churches do like performances instead of like doing when the church service becomes a circus. I think that's most rather unfortunate when that happens. I think the place of the church is, it's like the purpose of the Sunday church service is like you're there to be fed, right? The pastor is going to their is sitting there or standing up to preach to the flock, and it has to be a theological truth that they are espousing, that they are working on. That's why I don't think your grandmother's church is a circus. I will be praying for your grandmother. I went to Sunday school many times. It was all meaningless. Yeah. That's tough. That's tough. Worshiptainment. Yeah, that's a good word to describe it. Right, give me a second. I'll be back, guys. I've just disappeared for a little bit. Trust me. I've always been here. I've never disappeared. I've never disappeared. The focus must be on Jesus Christ and the message, worshiping Jesus. For real, for real. That woman is also a hypocrite. That's unfortunate. We'll be. I guess we'll if we'll reach out our hand and we'll pray for your we'll pray for your grandmother. Welcome, Ian. Welcome back. Welcome back. Sunday school was originally a literal school for poor kids run by the church. Yeah, which is like it's a cool thing. That's good. It's a good thing that these are the sorts of things that come out of the Christian tradition. The rock is Jesus Christ. That Peter builds his church. When the focus is no longer Jesus in the Bible, it's no longer church. For real, for real. Welcome, Jesus. Welcome, Jesus. Sunday school never really helped me. I always stay at the temple. What denomination am I? I am Baptist. So yeah, I think that's my I think it really depends which church you go to, which is like some Sunday schools like are really you really do delve into the Bible and that's the thing. But I think a lot of Sunday school stuff is unfortunately you don't know who else is Christian amongst you. So yeah, there's that. There's that. What is your view of the Lord's Supper, if I may ask? I'm not going to talk about things that I don't understand. So there you go. Like, are you referring to like transubstantiation? If I haven't read about it or if I don't know enough about it, I tend not to make a comment. And again, like Jesus, I appreciate that you've placed your trust in me for me to make a comment about that, and you want to hear my position on it, but. Ultimately, I am not in a teaching capacity as well. So there you go. Is it bad that I don't know my church's denomination? Not necessarily. Like if you're a non-denominationalist, like there you go. I go to an adult Sunday school after service, and we study different chapters of the Bible or other adjacent topics like the canonization of early church history. Hey, that's cool. That's good. That's good. You are no NPC, and you are too funny and have a strong personality. I really appreciate that, John D. So yeah. All right, but my main complaint with this comment are like, I'm a Sunday school BS NPC talking point. Actually, the thing is, I'm happy. I'm happy with that as well because this channel has 2 points, right? Like I keep reiterating this, right? The main audience for this channel is meant to be Christians, right? It ain't for non-believers. But if we're able to reach out to non-believers as well, that's amazing and that's awesome. And that's one of the secondary purposes, right? Which is equipping Christians to talk about like to be able to make these connections in anime, and then also able to reach out to Christians as well. Welcome, eccentric Ed Tamar. By the way, you're getting close to 11K subscribers. I am. I did notice that this morning. So there you go. Non-believers are always welcome, but as I said, like the primary audience is meant to be for Christians. Like I don't expect, like for example, right? The reason why that's the primary audience is because that's the audience that members are meant to be. You should make a blog like Kenny, but a blog for evangelizing Japan via anime-loving Christians. I don't like blogs. I think in the in our current 21st, well, 10 years ago, sure. If you wrote a blog, maybe it could be maybe it could be successful. Hey, I know Kenny is like we're clowning on Kenny right now, but just so you know, guys, Kenny has apologized for his militancy, so let's not clown on him. Moe Gumi, if you don't know who Kenny is, it's better that you don't know. So there you go. What are blogs? It's like a website where people just write about stuff. So yeah. Even Kenny's friends have a blog. Everyone seems like they have one now. That's why I don't like. Okay, the reason why I'm on YouTube and I'm not on a blog is because like I I do like writing. I do like writing, but ultimately everyone I do like writing, but at the rate that current attention spans are at right now, people don't read a lot. People prefer if there was like a visual, if someone was speaking to them, right? Those are the sorts of things like that we're doing on this channel. So to make a blog, I feel like would be counterintuitive because nobody reads vlogs. So yeah, I know Kenny is on YouTube as well. I haven't watched any of his videos. So yeah, is Kenny from South Park? No, Kenny's like a guy who likes commenting on my videos. So there you go. Shorts beats blogs. Yeah, that as well, right? If you want a platform, you just start yapping on TikTok. That's all it is. Is Dadadan satanic or Christian? I would suggest you go to Nick with no K. Nick with no K does a good video on that. And I haven't watched it yet. So yeah, Kenny Brown, not Kenny Brown, Kenny Bowers is his last name. Goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious me. What are your thoughts on apologetics like Light of the World? I have a sneaking suspicion I know that name. Oh, I've seen this guy, I think. Have I seen this guy? The only reason why I know this guy is because he does that video on that particular manga. So that's all I know. Oh my gosh, they killed Kenny. Valorian, welcome, welcome. You just got back here. Kenny who? Kenny Bowers. That's it. Light of the World. Is it from an anime? No, the Light of the World YouTube channel they're referring to. So that's kind. I don't have many thoughts on him. There you go. I think you will really like the current anime Honey Lemon Soda. It addresses the idea of reaching out to the outcast and lonely in school and culture. If I had started watching it at the start of this, the reason why I haven't touched it is because I don't think it's got like a big audience behind it. Let me fact check myself. I think it is sub 100. Honey Lemon Soda. And it's currently sitting at like 6.81 on my anime list, so I'm not super. How many members is it? 78,000 members. Yeah. I generally like I trust you guys as well and your testimony in terms of like I trust your testimony in terms of whether or not Honey Lemon Soda is a good anime to watch. But when I see this 6.81 on my anime list, it gives me pause and makes me think, is this something that also 78,000 members as well. So, you know what? Like I appreciate you guys recommending me stuff. But that's the main reason why I haven't touched Honey Lemon Soda. Do you think Berserk is a Christian series? The rate at which people are recommending me Berserk means that at some point I am gonna watch it. So yeah, I've been attempting to write my own anime, with part of the reason being to get myself and others closer to God. But I don't know how I would do so. Do you have any recommendations on how I should? I recommend that you watch something like Jesus Revolution. Give us a second. Let's see if the poster for this is on here. Yeah, there we go. I would recommend you watch something like Jesus Revolution and see how that story is written. Also, the solution to woke media is to create good media rather than there's that. Yeah, those are the. I get you. That's why I probably wouldn't watch. I wouldn't recommend Berserk because of those things. So yeah. So Jesus Revolution is I would say is the one good Christian movie. Christian movies have this make this mistake of not writing good stories. So there you go. There you go. So yeah, I would study something like this, or just study good stories. Like, oh, sorry, what am I yapping about? There's good stories out there as well. Read something like Narnia, right? Or read something like I think Lord of the Rings as well. Those are good stories and timeless. And you don't have to be explicitly Christian. You can include like Christian characters, right? I think that's a good way to do it. But like don't make it. I'd hate to say this, but you ultimately have to just write a good story rather than if you want to preach the gospel, right? But if you want to do that through anime and do it really well, you focus on the story first. I do not know any Japanese gomen. So yeah, gotta get ready for a job interview. Oh, thank you for joining us though, David McKelvey. Is it? Ever hear of the Pop Culture Christian channel? No, I have not. I have not. Many Christian movies like Christian music put message above art. It's art above message. It's sorry, you write the art and then the message comes out. Pop Culture Christian channel. Let's see this guy. Yo. No, I have not. I'm surprised he's only at 7K. No way. I have not seen this guy before. Seems pretty cool. Is he new? Oh, he's new around the block 1 year ago. Oh, really? Okay, that's pretty impressive. 7K subscribers in one year. That's pretty impressive. Okay. That's not to I was gonna judge him very, very dearly. I haven't ever heard of this guy. Seems cool. I think I have a sneaking suspicion like this guy does what I'm doing, except with just movies instead of like instead of like just anime like I do. Christians who can't handle berserk can't handle reality. I wouldn't say that. Like Chud Strife, there's put your mind to things which are uplifting, something to that effect. Sorry, I'm absolutely butchering the verse. If someone can bring it up for me, Bible verse. But it's to the effect of right. Yeah, here we go. Colossians 3:2. Set your mind on things above that are not on things on earth. For to set the mind on the flesh is death, but to set the mind on the spirit is life and peace. And there's something else that Philippians 4:8. I think you're cooking. Oh yeah, that's what I was looking for. Welcome, podcast on. Thank you, podcast on Read Trigon. That's very good. Finally, brothers and sisters, reading from Philippians 4:8. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. So that's why I'm like, of course, you can do anything, right? You can watch something. This is one of my reflections as in my video on Eromanga Sensei, right? Which is like, I thought it would be really funny to do a video about me clowning on Eromanga Sensei, like Christian reacts to Eromanga Sensei. But I genuinely felt convicted by the spirit that I should focus it on something else, which is what the video does. So there you go. There you go. The verse Colossians complements Berserk's theme. Maybe if we who want to spread the good news to the media get together to form teams, maybe that would make things more possible. I think that's ultimately it, which is like, you gotta, we as Christians, like if you want to draw, go draw, right? Become an artist. If you want to animate, become an animator, right? Get a degree, like learn to do it. Join a company, and then once you've joined like an animation company, then you spread the gospel there. So can a Christian watch an on-screen orgy? No, you can't. I feel like that's not in good conscience. I feel like there's a way that you could present that in a scene while obscuring it and obfuscating it, right? You don't have to show it. This is what the Sound of Freedom did, right? Which is like, it did allude to a girl being abused by an older fellow, but but it didn't show it. It didn't have to show the guy absolutely like pounding her or something like, or the guy having stuff with her. So yeah, um, there's that. Podcast on read Trigon. What? Apparently, I should be reading Trigon. I've only watched Sound of Freedom. It didn't make me cry though, so I feel guilty now. Welcome Kaimari. Welcome Kaimari. Guys, you're distracting me again, right? What's the point of this? What's the point of this video if I'm not reading hate comments? Far out. All right. Next guy coming up. Your content is misguided, and a lot of your claims are major stretches at best. Again, like, it's not a major stretch. We're creating a meta narrative. We're writing a story here. We're not like. It isn't actually so that there are actual Christian anime. There might be actual Christian anime out there. But the point is, we are writing a story, right? And if you haven't watched the video on what makes a Christian anime, you don't. Of course, you don't get it. That's perfectly fine. Still, this is the internet, and Christians are no better on here than anyone else. In fact, they can even be more argumentative and rude. Guys. Am I? Oh, sorry. I may not be argumentative and rude, but I would hope that you guys are representing the channel well as subscribers to the channel by not being argumentative and rude. I sure hope that's because I've seen some of you guys respond to Kenny, and again, like, we're all clowning on him right now, but we got to be nicer to people, right? You can't be doing that. Than anyone else, because they believe their particular views are the only right ones. Hey, okay, this is also another thing, right? Which is like, I do not appreciate it when people are like, oh, you Christians are like, don't you Christians always think you're right. Well, you think you're right as well. Like, you assume the secular worldview is right, so there you go. So don't worry whether God is on your side, but worry about whether you aren't his. I encourage you to learn deeper before trying to make content like this, or at the very least, frame it differently. Oh, I mean, that's actually good advice. I think I could definitely get closer to God. You believe you're right, so you must be mean. Yes. Or at the very least, frame it differently. Instead of blah 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 is a Christian anime, then give silly reasons why you make that claim. You can simply analyze the common ground morality themes and how they reveal the that the human conscience is evidence of an order. Okay, when I read stuff like this, it's like, who's gonna watch that? That's the educate yourself for real, paleo. This is the Christian version of educate yourself. The thing is that a Christian acknowledges when they are wrong about non-religious issues. Yes. I'll tell you what. Podcast on Read Trigon. I can't remember your name. I'm pretty sure it was like Christian Manga Channel. No, I'm pretty sure your original name was Christian Manga Channel. I do know some Christians, like Mr. Minor from the Smart Christian Channel has watched Game of Thrones, for example, right? So it's like, I think it's ultimately a conscience issue. Like, you're able to do it, you have the liberty to watch it, but is it something that's uplifting, right? It's obviously not. It's so silly to criticize someone for thinking their worldview is correct. If it wasn't correct, I wouldn't believe it. For real. Stop distracting me sounds like a skill issue, to be honest. Well, I want to respond to chat as well. Yeah, and you're distracting me again, Caleb. How could you? How dare you? If I give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe they're worried you're stretching the meaning of Christian anime. Yeah. Everyone bases their morality on something, but only we have someone, God, to grant our objective morality and truth in. Yes, for real. Atheists get their morality from Christian culture. Claims that annoy me. The atheists say, you guys force your religion on others. No, it's yeah, that's you guys worship the same God, or stop screeching, spreading hate towards people. Let them be. Yeah, for real. Welcome, Piercing Heaven. Welcome. All right. But I think that's okay. I'm sure you could communicate this. You can simply analyze the common ground morality themes and reveal how that the human conscience is evidence of an ordered universe created by a God of order, instead of trying to stretch things to get people's attention. I mean, as I said, there's a reason why I'm very intentional in referring to something as a Christian anime is because like it does get clicks, right? Of course that's not the only reason why, but I think it's like, as I said, these values are Christian values, right? Moralism, moralism is always bad, right? But when we look at morality, and we look at the moral values that we hold today, like they are Christian values, right? They're not like and this becomes more evident in my Aramanga Sensei video. David Wood does this thing where he talks about being made in the image of God. If we're made in the image of God, that means everything that we are doing images God. So, for example, if we are the fact that I'm talking, the fact that I'm looking at you guys, the fact that I'm reading your comments, like I'm imaging God in the sense that I am imaging his creative capacity, I am imaging his intellectual capacity, right? So that's why I just see with the help of the Holy Spirit, right? You just see all of these different things with the Holy Spirit, like leading me to certain things and leading me down trains of thought. Like I just see God everywhere because like if everyone is made in the image of God, you just see God everywhere. And that's why like everything ultimately is like the way that I'm using Christian, everything is Christian in that sense because everyone is made in the image of God and you just see it like you just spot it everywhere. Like, of course, we should gatekeep, right? In terms of like there are people who aren't Christians. That's good. That's okay. Augustine talks about this. We create when we speak. The difference between us and God is that our creations disappear the instant we speak, whereas God creates it and remains. Yeah, that's why it's like we image God rather than because we image God in imperfect, like in a God. God is the only perfect being who continues and stays for eternity, while us we're finite. That's why we can only image him in certain ways because we are finite beings. All right, just talk about the content you watch in light of your faith and how you respond to it. Like a Christian reacts to the pick one arc of My Hero Academia. I think that would be more relatable and more intellectually honest. And I think this sort of stuff, right, which is like, I think you should just create your own YouTube channel. The fact that this guy is here, I don't want to be mean, but the fact that this guy is here and even commenting in the first place just goes to show that the strategy works, right? When I say blank is a Christian anime, like it works. Like you're here. And it's a positive message that we're doing. I really appreciate your video. It's a joy and blessing to find a fellow believer in Christ who also appreciates good anime. Well, thank you very much, Garrett. I'm glad you're joined. Is there anime that isn't satanic but Christians shouldn't watch? All right, this is where we make it. So I think to say that something is satanic, right, it has to be in worship of Satan. If an anime is edifying sin, like if it's saying that sin is a good thing, I don't think that's necessarily satanic. So I would put, I know I just said like hentai, stuff like hentai is like satanic, but unless it's like worshiping Satan, I don't think it's kind of the same way that Mike Winger says it, right? Which is like, unless it's directly worshiping Satan, then try not to use that word satanic, because you're ascribing things to Satan. Of course, like Satan is like the father of Satan is the father of lies, and he constantly sins as well. So you could make the argument that an anime that is promoting sin is also satanic. But as I said, you gotta be careful in that. Death Note is worshiping lust, which is a sin. Yeah, there's that. It's sinful, that's for sure. Like you can say it's sinful, but is it satanic? You got to be careful with that. The Aramanga Sensei video is such an IQ test. If it offends your senses, maybe consider that's an intentional contrast by the video creator. Yeah, I'll tell you what. That video is coming out next month. If you haven't watched the video, hold off on your judgment of it. Yeah, hentai is the definition of lust and sinful. So it's sinful, but is it satanic? There you go. Death Note is not a Christian anime in my opinion. I gotta watch it though. I think it's like yeah. I want to see. I've only watched the first few episodes of it, and then I dropped it. So yeah, there's that. Death Note doesn't glorify sin. At least you're not supposed to root for light. Have not watched the Air manga video, expecting it to be wild. Well, you are a member, so you are able to watch it. Pornography is the iconography of Satan. Damn, you could say that. All right, no, I have changed my mind. Okay, cool. That's a good point. Pornography is satanic. Yeah, I agree with that. So there you go. That's a good point. That's a good point you bring up. All right, next point. This one was really cringe. This next comment was super cringe. You're not making Christianity better. You're making rock and roll worse. Which is apparently Hank Hill. But he's just saying he's just replacing rock and roll with anime. Am I making anime worse, chat? Am I making anime worse by saying Christian, by making this thing of a Christian anime? How many hate comments that you got so far? Well, we're already an hour into stream, and I'm keen. I've got like 2, 4, 6. There's 6 more. Hank Hill was right though. Christian rock was kind of bad until the 2020s. Yes, you ruined anime. How dare you, Paleon's Remnant? Which is one of the worst comments that you got. I don't say that I get bad comment. Like, I don't rate them. I just rate them with how funny they are. Like that's the thing, right? Which is like, whenever I read hate comments, I just find them funny. It's just not like if I would say the worst hate comments are the ones which are not funny at all, and it's just like you just saying stuff at that point. So there you go. What kind of name is Serpentinius? Is he cosplaying the serpent? I've just realized that Serpentinius. Maybe he is cosplaying it. You're in anime by being virtue of Philip Pinks. That's terrible. How dare you, Piercing Heaven? That's an automatic ban. So yeah. You not making it worse. You just adding I'm just adding morality, and people don't want that. They don't want to think that what they're doing is wrong. He must be a Satan serpent in disguise, lol. For real. I think that's it, right? Which is, I'm not adding morality to it. I'm just pointing out that there's Christian, like there is a worldview to it. So there you go. Philip Pinks. Have you never heard of that before, Silly Slut? I wish he hadn't mentioned that, Piercing Heaven, because he's gonna call Salami's gonna call me Philip Pinks from now on now. You're trying to show how the entertainment portrays good values and virtues, which is a lot of people already discussing it. I'm just doing it for a Christian audience, for real. I just learned about Piercing Heaven's channel the other day. You're great. I really need to. I know he recently. Why don't we react to his video? Let's react to it on stream, live Piercing Heaven reaction. He recently did a video on fan service that I have. Piercing Heaven channel is already half the way there. All right, I'm gonna watch the first bit of it, but if you want to watch the rest of it, just go watch them directly, because I don't want to steal views from them. Am I? Whoop. That's... There you go. Oh, whoops. My mouse is going insane. All right. This is a live Piercing Heaven reaction.
Do you want to know what most people do when they want to watch a new anime? They sit down, open their streaming service of choice, and enjoy. Now, want to see what I do?
I mean, I gotta do that more. Piercing Heaven. That's actually... I mean, this is a hilarious bit. Piercing Heaven.
Then I go to bed because I wasted hours doing that, and it's all thanks to one thing that's been plaguing anime since its inception.
Alright, let's Is there a way to position you better? No. I love your PNG tuber, by the way. Oh my goodness. It's good. It's good we have more Christian content creators. No, but literally, why moderate on so many shows?
2-word, fan service. Now, I can already hear the word tourist emerging in your head, so let me flash the credentials real quick. Satisfied? Cool. Now, what is fan service? Fan service, according to
I
Wikipedia,
recently, oh my goodness, I'm getting distracted again. Chat. If you haven't seen my post yet on it, recently something's been making the rounds on Twitter. All right, let's go on Twitter. That's probably better on there. Like that's a welcome Sanguine, by the way. I agree with a lot of what Piercing Heaven's saying here because I think it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate that anime has a lot of fan service in it. Oh, it is what it is. We're just gonna have to deal with it. All right, cool. How to spot a Christian anime fan. Watches Frieren, K-On!, Girls in Panzer, and Bocce the Rock. Loves Jesus. Likes anime because they hear God speak through it. Anti-fan service because it leads to sin. Hashtag total demon death. Subscribes to the Christian Anime Podcast. Wants to spread the love of Jesus to everyone. Biggest Shinzo Abe stands outside of Japan. Praying for a revival in Japan. And he hates demons. So there you go. There. Ghibli movies have fan service? I don't think so. not in the same way that a lot of anime do. I think you're operating under like a bad definition of fan service.
is material in a work of fiction or in a fictional series that is intentionally added to please the audience, often sexual in nature, such as nudity.
Yeah, there you go. Or partial nudity. Partial nudity is a thing as well. That's does Ghibli have fan service in that sense? I think there's a difference between like showing nudity in like a partial nudity in like a way that isn't super sexual, and there's a way in which nudity can be presented in a super gratuitous way. I think like he mentioned Alia, the Alia Russian blah 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 blah. I can't remember the full name, but that's a good example of an anime that presents fan service, like presents like partial nudity in a very very gratuitous way that highlights certain parts of the female anatomy in order to invoke a sexual response in it. So yeah, I do agree with that one guy who pointed out fan service is not just sus content. It can also be things like bringing back a favorite character. In the setting of anime, yeah, Alia hides her feelings in Russian. That's it. Fan service is in the anime context this is what we're referring to when we're referring to fan service. I know fan service because Critical Drinker has a different definition of fan service, like bringing back an old character. Yeah, of course that's referring to fan service, like fan service in terms of like bringing back old characters or invoking nostalgia or nostalgia bait, those sorts of things. So there you go. When I think of fan service, I think about some beach scenes. Yeah, that's a good example of it. So.
These are your upskirt shots, your beach episodes, your surprisingly detailed animation of particular body parts when the camera zoomed in, and it's not new. But just because something's been there forever doesn't make it automatically acceptable or even essential. For real. Let's recall a principle.
That's the thing, right? Which is, I think, we could be called tourists on this, and that's perfectly fine. It's because like we're not trying to. I think this Christian anime space that we're operating in, we're not trying to infiltrate into the anime community. We're creating a subculture within a subculture. So there's that. Bocce's beach scene is extremely based for making fun of fan service. Really, I'm excited to see that be animated then. I've been studying comics for a while, so like fan service is more like anything that appeals to the audience. Sex is happening. Just happens to be the most common one. I think fan service, again, in the anime context, that's what we're referring to. It's like the I think the direct term in the context of anime is suggestive fan service. Let's refer to it to that right now. If Pokemon's cross-dressing scene makes watching anime sinful, Naruto is cooked. I watched Nichijou and I did not like how some moments it said God is dead. I can't remember that. If it's just certain characters, then you could chalk it up to that. So yeah, I still think it's funny, but it's just like some characters may just be bad. So yeah, that's why you like Naruto, because it has minimal fan service. I had no idea. The fan service in My Hero Academia is the reason why I'm not an avid fan, which is a shame, because I've heard that about a lot about that. I gotta get on Nichijou, but Hunter x Hunter is occupying my plate right now. I see. All right, cool.
Called Chesterton's fence, which says, in short, do not remove a fence until you know why it was put up in the first place.
For real.
Funny thing about fan service, we know exactly why it's there. It's in the name. So the next step would be to ask, is it necessary? And given the success of many anime that don't feature fan service, I'm inclined to answer no. This all leads into the biggest question of them all, which is, what's wrong with it? And here's where I have to get technical. Let me ask you, what constitutes...
All right. We're gonna listen to him cook. I have my own... I still haven't fully decided on this yet. I haven't fully settled on this issue, because this has been a very it's been a conversation which I've been cooking on for a very long time, and I'd like to hear some pastors' thoughts on it. But ultimately, is animated fan service as bad? On the same level, or is it, are you sinning as a result of like watching fan service, or like are you lusting after a drawing, right? Those are the sorts of things that I've heard a lot of people argue that, oh, because it's a drawing you're not lusting after it, or because it's not a real woman you're not lusting after it. And I have my own response towards that. I would still like to hear some older people's thoughts on it. But yeah, those are the sorts of things that I'm still cooking on. I haven't fully settled on the position yet, because I'm like, for me, right, I think like if sexual feelings are invoked, you might still be lusting, right? But at the same time, it's not a real person either. So yeah, those are the sorts of things that I'm cooking on. I've heard like it's still glorifying sin though. Like even though you're not lusting after a real person, you're still ultimately glorifying sin. So yeah, those are my kind of thoughts on fan service right now, and like something being animated to or like a drawing. Can you lust after a drawing? Those are like I need to cook way more before I come to a position on it. So yeah.
It's adult content that's rated R or M in visual media. I'd wager you'd say something like, because it's unsuitable for children. That much is true, but why? I think I know why. Let me use Mortal Kombat as an example. When you're 15 years old and you watch a Mortal Kombat fatality, and this is your first exposure to anything gory, your reaction is probably going to look a lot like this. Whoa, that's pretty messed up. Wow, they did that to there.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. Oh my goodness, you're gonna get me demonetized here. Wait. Let's. Whoa, you. Hey, just so you know, piercing heaven. That's a. I'm pretty sure that's against YouTube's terms of service. So we're. It's as bad, if not worse, because it can take you away from reality more than real life stuff. I mean, you're cooking there. Reagan, podcast son, is definitely a VTuber. I'm a VTuber, so there you go. No, it's cool. The blood is green. All right, we're gonna let him cook more. I'm just gonna allow this scene to pass by.
Wow, that's gross. Can the human body even do that? See, you'd have a good idea of what's going on, even if it's not the full picture and causes some minor distress. But imagine if you were 10.
I love this. Imagine if you were 10. All right, let's keep
I have a 10-year-old relative, and his reaction would look a lot more severe. He'd be grossed out, he'd freak out, and he'd rush to turn off the TV. Now, imagine if you were 5, and you saw a Mortal Kombat...
Really? Ushio. Oh, you're breaking my heart here, piercing heaven. Oh my goodness, you did not have to... Bring up Ushio.
Combat fatality for the first time. Just try to picture the turmoil that would occur in the mind.
Whoa. Way too much gore.
That child. He'd be crying and screaming and would associate the color red with crying and screaming for years to come. They're having different reactions, but every
Welcome
one
God
of
is
them,
great.
15, 10, 5, they're all perceiving the same reality. The only difference between them is their ability to grasp what's going on, to understand it. By the time you turn 18, you're
I do need a laughing emote, don't I, Ian? Yep, I agree with all of this. We're already like 25% of the way in the video. I don't want to steal views from Piercing Heaven, so I know that there are literally 60 people on stream right now. If you want, go watch this video, and I'm gonna watch the rest of this video and see what I think. But I think that's a good thing. You're cooking. You're cooking. I know this isn't fully your thesis, but the main idea is right, which is like if you initially have a very a visceral response to it as a child, then it's probably like your conscience is being more seared. That's evidence of your conscience being seared as a result of you like seeing it again and again and again and again. I think that's the direction he's going, but there you go. There you go. So there's 60 people right here now. Go sub to Piercing Heaven and watch this video later on after stream, is it? So how can we meet? Can we chat about our faith or something? Man, here's one of my pet peeves. You're not the only one, eccentric Ed Tamar, so this isn't just for you. One of my pet peeves is people expecting that I can talk to them. Especially on Discord. Oh boy, oh boy. Especially on Discord. Give me a second. I'm just cooking. I think you gotta have the right expectation of me that I am not going to like this is my job. This is my job. If you want to chat, let's chat on you can chat via stream. But ultimately oh that's okay. That's okay, Christian animation Christian manga channel. I think there's an expectation that some people have that, oh, because you're a content creator, you gotta just I'm gonna send you a friend request. I'm gonna send you a message request, and I'd like you to respond to my comment right now. But this is my job. Imagine if I did that to like if the number of comments I get every day, the number of DMs I get every day, like I can't respond to all of them. So I think I don't want to be mean, but I think you just gotta have that you have to have that right that correct expectation of content creators that we're not gonna respond to everything. Can we talk on YouTube or Discord? I'm usually in all Christian YouTubers or VTubers Discords. I don't think you're in mine right now. There you go. So there you go. So I just wanted to remind you of you guys, right? Which is like have the right expectations on me. I think right now I'm at a limit, right? Because there are certain people who I talk to. I'm not gonna disclose who they are, but if I'm still responding to you, that means it's perfectly acceptable for me to, because I've known you guys for the longest, basically. So like I know some of them are on stream right now, and it's perfectly fine with us like still chatting and still sending stuff to each other. But new people, I'm less open to becoming like online friends with. You're on Discord. You just have a different username from this one. Wait, what's going on? Oh no, Salami. I'm just complaining about people who are who have like the wrong expectations of me and want to like chat to me. Like I recently had this with a guy. I'm not gonna reveal his name, but he basically said, "Oh hey, when are you available for a call? I wanna be in a call with you." I'm not referring to you, Salami, by the way, because I actually enjoy our chats. Because you're a fun guy. You're a fun guy to be with. But yeah, there was this guy who was just like, oh, when do you need to call? Fair, only so much social bandwidth, for real, for real. You're new here as Sekai Seth. Nice to meet you all, and you have a question. When it comes to violence in anime, how do we discern from the anime just showcasing violence and the anime actually glorifying violence? Ooh, that's a hard question. I think you just see it. You're just able to see it. I think when it comes to violence, it's just a conscience issue ultimately. If you're uncomfortable with violence, like it's perfectly fine for you not to watch it. If you are able to watch violence and it's like it's not like a conscience issue for you, then like, and it's not a problem for you, then so be it. That's perfectly fine. So I'm gonna leave that as a conscience issue on that point. So yeah. That's all. That's all. It largely depends on the tone, definitely. Definitely. I'd say the best way to talk about annoying podcasts on is just be active in the Discord. Yeah, and like if you're active on the Discord, I'll eventually talk to you eventually, maybe. I have a question. What made you decide Jobless Reincarnation as a Christian anime? You haven't watched the video yet, Ninja Wolf, and it's not a Christian anime. The video title is intentionally a Christian review of Mushoku Tensei rather than Mushoku Tensei is a Christian anime. So you will find out if when that comes out in April. Flee from sexual immorality, for real, for real. All other sins a person commits are outside the body, but whoever sins sexually sins against their own body, for real, have self-restraint. Asks what purpose the violence serves in the story, if that makes sense in the story. Ever hear Todd Friel's take on this stuff? I've seen some of Todd Friel's videos on this. I've seen his video on like his take on Harry Potter as well, and I disagree with a lot of his stuff on it. Like he's a really cool guy. He's a much older gentleman as well, but ultimately he needs to. I don't want to be mean, but I think he needs to get with the times with it. So yeah, I'm of course he has his own take, and we respect his take, and we are respectful of him. But ultimately, these are the sorts of things that I would disagree with him on. So there you go. All right, what's our time now? 9:17. Oh, can we still go? I can I can keep going for another hour actually. So I'm perfectly fine. All right, let's go. Let's go. Next hate comment here. Important to acknowledge that set your minds on whatever is good can be abused to say you should never depict violence ever. That's the thing. I'd respond with, yeah, don't be legalist. I wouldn't use that. I think that that term is used as a slur way too many times, and I wouldn't accuse someone of being legalistic. I would just say that their conscience is their conscience is doesn't match mine. That's the way I'd say it. Christian review is not the same as this is a Christian anime. For real. Yes, truth. Yes. All right. This guy. I respect that you're a Christian and all, but to pretend that anime is any way representative of Christ is absurd. It's not. At its best, it's representative of a humanist worldview doing well for society. And at its worst, it's overly gratifying in sexuality and violence. Not to mention how prevalent demons and again, like it's just this guy hasn't watched a lot of anime. Well, okay, he seems like he does. He seems like he does, but he's like the way that he's describing anime just goes to show what sort of anime he's watching. And without any Christian framework to paint them as the bad guys, in Japanese society, they're not evil. So, of course, in anime, they're not either. So, I mean, it's too... This is cringe. At its best, it's representative of a humanist worldview. Can you define a humanist worldview? Where does the morality of humanism come from? Like those are the sorts of things that I'm asking. Humanism is a failure because it doesn't have an objective morality. That's all it is. That's all it is. Dude raises a good point about Japanese demons being different from Western assumptions, but all good comes from God. I think like when you look at like there are still shows like Soso no Frieren, for example. So no Frieren, what happens there? It's like the demons are evil still. So there you go. I think no matter what culture it is, like demons are still bad. But there are a lot of Japanese shows that do try to paint demons as cute or like as not as bad. Fair enough, but I do find it extremely annoying when they don't acknowledge a difference in conscience amongst Christians and force it on others. This is not related to the hate comment situation, but if I ever start making content on video, is it okay to make gotcha skits or comedy skits? But my intention is, well, I think anything is like, unless you're not, I don't see any place in the Bible that says like gotcha, making gotcha or making comedy is evil. So there you go. I don't want to be mean Ed Tamar, but that's my take on it. Japanese demons aren't really demons, they're spirits, something like that. Yeah, I know they have a different theology on that, but it's like, yes, they have a different theology regarding demons, but the main point is that they're still bad. So a lot of cultures believe in neutral spirits. Western cultures tend not to. Closest thing is like mischievous fairies. We wouldn't call those demons, strictly speaking. It's real. All right, cool. But yeah, that's a... but to pretend that anime is any way representative of Christ is absurd. Well, this is the things, like, they have eyes, but they do not see, right? They have eyes, but they do not see. I think, again, it's this idea that if you fully recognize that you are made in the image of God, you just start seeing God all over the place. And I think that's the beautiful thing for the Christian, to be able to just see God. Like, even though people may image God in defective ways, even though people are still sinning, even though there's still so much brokenness in the world, like the whole of creation still cries out the glory of God. So ultimately it's just like, you just see it. So there you go. Blitzy, I get your point that there is a lot of Japanese media with killing God or becoming God, but I think they're just edgy. Like, they're just edgy 15-year-olds. So there you go. I think it's like, bro Googled anime with demons, and now he's an expert on morality of anime as a genre. I think if you're just watching anime that has killing God or becoming God as like the central plot point, then you're not watching enough anime. Like, you're not watching good anime. That's all I'll say. I personally do like the way that demons are portrayed in Demon Slayer. Yes. What about they worship demons? Again, I think you're not looking in the right places. For example, Violet Evergarden. Blue Box. Even Kaiju number 8, it's not really demonic, right? That's the I'm trying to think of others, or even like Demon Slayer. I haven't watched a lot of Demon Slayer, but I'm sure that's just from what you've talked about it, guys. It doesn't look bad. Welcome, Zach Tan. How's the hate going? The 2 hours of hate is almost done, so there you go. You know what? It's that they treat observations as arguments. Yes, that's so true, Piercing Heaven. I'm sure Podcast Son is a good reference, and the ultimate reference is Jesus. Yes, for real. Don't look at me. Look at as you look at me, look at Jesus rather than looking at me. That's all it is. Demon Slayer might actually be a Christian anime. Main character leans very far into hate the sin, love the sinner, but not the cringe version of that. I mean, I'd do that. I really do want to watch Demon Slayer at some point, because it seems based in that sense. All right, cool. This one was really funny. It was like, bro, you are so cooked. Repent. Waifus aren't real. And it's just like, I think. So just so you know, guys, like, I love LARPing. I love role playing. Right. On the Discord server, I'm really big on like, Bocchi is my waifu. Like Hitori Goto is my waifu. I'm really big on that. I'm breaking character just for this moment, just to show, like, I really love, I love role playing. I love LARPing. I love doing it and being ridiculous and being funny and just like performing. It's a performance that I'm doing for you guys. So there you go. A lot of demons in anime are really just dark magical beings. Well, they're still evil. So there you go. The role playing is crazy. So waifus aren't real, but it's like just I'm being post ironic is all it is. Your worldview is destroyed. Strifarious. Oh dear. What about Black Clover? I think it's a bit cringe. That's all. I agree that under Podcast Son's rules, we'd call that a Christian anime. What was that in response to? Demon Slayer was written under the presupposition that Shinto is a real religion. It's not a Christian anime, but there's definitely Christian overlap. I might have a hot take on that. I could say it's a Christian anime. I think like because those I would write a video. I would make a video about that just so that I could see comments saying no, it's actually Shinto religion. Yeah. That's the yeah, and under my rules it would still be a Christian anime, even though it's like unless I'd have to watch it and actually cook on it a lot more rather than doing it. Is Salami a LARP fan as well? No, he's not. He doesn't LARP. He's cringe. You made a whole video about that. Yes. But that's an observation about the audience, not an argument against anime with sympathetic demons. You got to expand the argument. Many religions are inspired by Christianity. Christianity was a religion in Japan before Shintoism. I had no idea. Waifus can have some Christian perspectives based on personality. Yeah, well, just watch my video on like a waifu of noble character. So there you go. All right. Next one. Oh, this one. Oh my god. I was just looking through my comments to see if there were like hate comments because there were like really big essays that I saw, and then there are like these ones which are like you're deceived. He used the wrong "you're" as well, but he said I'm deceived, and all of my 2,343 deceiveds. Where do you keep them? I don't know. he yeah, he did misspell deceived as well. It's I before E except after C. So there you go. What is your Discord server name? It's in the description. Galley Gizmo. It's the Christian anime Discord community. So yeah. If you want to join, we're currently doing Waifu Wars right now. Oh, it's Waifu Wars time, and we are voting on who's best girl, and best girl is winning right now. Aruma Kana is currently in the lead, so there you go. Very based, very based. Let's see if there's any other polls. Oh, Rent Your Girlfriend's going up as well. Let's go with her. So yeah, we're currently doing Waifu Wars on the Discord. So if you want to go, go vote. Valorian Central, there is actually evidence of churches from before the time of Shintoism. That would be really interesting to study. If you want a Christian anime with an actual Christian anime character, try checking out Candy or Candy in English, maybe. I don't get the waifu wars thing. We're arguing about waifus. Who's the best waifu? That's the whole point of it. I don't understand why this guy thinks that we've been deceived on your content. I was gonna say I was trying to figure out why did he say 2,343? Because that's not my sub count, but it might have been the video, like the number of views on the video when it came out. So there you go. That's my best guess of it. Yeah, that's why I think as well. I don't think it's Micah. I don't think it's I think it was the number of views that the video had at the time rather than mine. Don't judge me, but Sakura is a top tier waifu. Well, I haven't watched Naruto in a while, so yeah. Oh, this one. Okay, this one's one of my favorite comments that I've read in a while. So Deconverted Man says, "This is utter slop. It's not anime. You are not Japanese. This is not made in Japan. Utter crap. Also, your god is dead." I think that's one of my one of my favorite things about reading some comments is like Christian anime podcast. There was no Christianity in Japan before Shintoism. Shintoism is older than modern Christianity by 300 years. All right, I trust Valorian more than the other guy. So there you go. I'm not gonna comment on it any further because I don't know anything about it. Dang bro, he got us. No recovering from that. I think this, as I said, my favorite thing is to read like there's this archetype of the angry atheist, the atheist who like just shouts at God and he's just like, oh, sky daddy, like David Wood does like a good impression of it, because it's like atheists love just saying Sky Daddy 70 times. It's just so funny. What video is this comment from? I have no idea. Sorry. I haven't recorded where these comments have come from, so there's that. So I think that's a good place to end off in terms of the showing the hate. Oh, sorry. No, there are 2 Christian responses. Let's address these criticisms for a bit. So of course you get all of like the atheists, and they're like, they're very, very angry. What about criticisms from fellow Christians? I think Sakamoto Days is a lovely anime with good moral values, similar to those encouraged by Christianity. However, it's a stretch to call it a Christian anime if there's no Christ mentioned at all in the anime. Sakamoto Days is an anime with Christian values, I think is a more befitting title for this video. Beautiful work in storytelling too. This was a good watch. And I appreciate him. This isn't necessarily a hate comment, it's just a criticism. But again, I think if you would like to make a channel that has those things, and you'd like to test that, that's perfectly fine. You go do that. You go do that. But I think that's way too long. That's way too long a video title. It's way too long like a it's not eye-catching enough. And those are the reasons why. And again, like I've already, I feel like I've justified enough the ideology behind Christian anime as well. So I think it's like those are the sorts of things. You should title your video terrible title for a YouTube video. I know. It's like these are the sorts of things, right? Which is like, I think when people feel like they can give YouTubers advice as well. Well, there's a reason why I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it. It's not just like I'm not doing it for the sake of it. So yeah. So yeah. To be fair, Esther does not mention God despite being scripture. True. You can see God working through it. The reason why Esther's in the Bible, even though God's not mentioned in it, is because we can still see God working through it. So there you go. There you go. Except I can see you, Truth and eccentric Ed Tamar, trying to just go in general and at each other. That's all it is. Yes, good idea, Truth. That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it. So yeah, I think that's I appreciate you guys. Like it's a fair criticism, but I feel like I've justified enough already in that what makes a Christian anime video, the definitions we're working under, and also like this is a bad video name in the video title name in the first place. So there you go. All right, and last one. This guy here, Sola Scriptura Music. I don't feel comfortable that you're justifying an anime that doesn't mention Jesus or the gospel. It is not Christian. And ultimately, as I said, as I repeatedly said constantly, right, which is, I think with the, like, you have eyes but you don't see. And I don't mean that in like a derogative way, but it's just like, I think there's a certain, I really appreciate when the Holy Spirit dwells in me and I just see certain things in anime and I just see like God speaking through it. And I think it's amazing. It's amazing. It's an amazing experience to do it. So there you go. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. All right. So with that, let's watch this Redeemed Zoomer video on evolution.
Fundamentalist.
Because he's made the rounds again. I have a sneaking suspicion. I think that's centered enough. There we go. Let's go with that. I'm covering part of the video, but that's okay. Let's react to this. I'll probably agree with it. Let's go.
And atheists don't like each other very much, but one thing they agree on is that evolution contradicts the Bible. But they're both wrong. People think this because the Bible says God made everything, and they...
I feel like there's a better way to present this. No. Can we duplicate that? Paste duplicate. I think Alt is the... there we go. I think that's the way we do it. I think we've cracked the code. There we go. There we go.
Assume that if life developed by the natural process of evolution, it means God didn't make it. But they would say God made them, even though they developed by a natural process.
I like this. Yes, no, that's so true. I think that's so true, right? Which is like, he's cooking. He's cooking here. Hey, thanks for joining us though, Piercing Heaven. I appreciate you joining. I was just about to watch the Redeem Zoomer vid. I think this is so, like, I agree with this so much, right? Which is like, there's so many things that, again, like, God, if we already know that God is working through society right now and through everything right now, why is it such a bad thing that God isn't being hadn't worked through evolution, right? So there you go. He's not coping. He's not coping. Welcome, Brother Gregory. Thank you for joining us. Atheists are clowns. Their theory constantly gets re-updated. Meanwhile, our Bible is preserved. I think it's just like, I'm also a theistic evolutionist, Neosonic fan. Bro made one video about the history of the Bible, and people are already telling him he'll never be like Bill Wirtz. Yeah, I use the same argument as he likely will as well. Evolution as a process is fact. You can't observe it, but an origin is a theology because it cannot ever be observed. Yeah, even though like evolution might be true, and like this is why I think you can still do this, right? Even if we were to assume that evolution was true, you still need a God for evolution to be true. Like you still need an origin from which life starts from. You still need random chance occurring in the way that it has, right? You still need a God like guiding evolution, even if evolution is true. So there you go. I disagree respectfully, but going back to Augustine, there were non-literal interpretations, so it's fine. Yes. It's just a complete straw man of the creationist position. Well, can you defend it better? Like, I don't see how this is any different from what creationists say. Ask yourself what created evolution. Yes, which is like, ultimately, like, even if we were, as I said, if you were to assume that evolution was true, if we were to take your premise, you still need God. So there you go.
God didn't just snap his fingers and make them fully formed, they developed over time. But God was still in charge of the whole process, because God made space and time.
Yes.
So God made things evolve exactly as he wanted them to. Yes, evolution depends on random mutations.
Evolution depends on random mutations, but ultimately, like, it's God guiding through it. And I don't see how that's contradictory to anything we read in the Bible. And I don't see, like, you can definitely see it working. Like, it works, right? The theology works.
But nothing is truly random since God controls everything. Proverbs 16:33 says that even when humans make a supposedly random decision, like rolling dice, God still determines the outcome. In the Bible, there are two ways that God does things. The first is...
Micah Siemens, you talk about death came through Adam and did not occur before the fall. If there was... he says this... I'm stealing this from Redeem Zoomer, but what was the point of the tree of life if it was not for... if there wasn't death before the fall? Like, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, right? The moment that Adam and Eve are cut off from the tree of life, that's the method, that's the variable in which they are going to die, right? That's the variable at which that they would die. Also, okay, no, we're not going to go through it, but I am confident in this one because I know the arguments for it. So yeah, there's that. Physical and spiritual death are different things. If there wasn't death before the fall, why did they need a tree of life? That's ultimately it. Agreed podcast on death there likely means spiritual death. Being able to eat requires the death of the thing being eaten, even if it's only... Yeah, there's that as well. Like, the plants die. I think an argument that I saw was that instead of evolving, we're devolving, since we're living in a dying universe. The tree of life would be for sustenance. It does not imply death before the fall. Well, then why is it that they that they, once they get cut off from the tree of life, that they are led to death? So here's my take on death after Adam. When the fall happened, it shook all of reality. Time itself was twisted and rewritten. Thus, everything which God created as good was corrupted. Why was the snake there then? If Adam was the one defending evolution, genuinely hurts my faith. Well, my sincerest apologies, Christian manga channel, but I think this is an important thing. Like I don't think this is something that we can disagree with. Like it's not a secondary, it's not a primary issue, so it's not a salvation issue. Saint Augustine believed that animals died before the fall. Immortality was given solely to Adam and Eve. Sorry, yeah, you didn't hear me. I did ask something. If the fall was the thing that corrupted everything, then why is it that the snake, the serpent, existed before the fall? We can agree there was no human sin polluting the world before the fall. Yeah, we can agree that there was no human sin, but sin still existed, because why was the snake going around? I've been homeschooled, and 50% of it has been on how evolution is wrong, and it contradicts the Bible for 17 years. I think you're I will be praying for you, Christian manga channel, because I think that's okay. No, I'm not going to mean. Yeah, isn't the snake Satan? Yes, which is why, like, that means like sin did exist before the fall, because Satan existed. That's my point. It's stated explicitly in Romans 5:12, wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin. Yes, but as I said, there's a snake. The snake existed before Adam sinned. Well, Satan fell before, but he as a former angel wasn't connected with the world. As humans are made in the image of God, so when he fell, it didn't corrupt as it did with Adam and Eve. Hey, that's a pretty good response. The serpent was not the federal head of the material creation, so his fall did not affect the world. Neither did Eve's fall. But as I said, but you wouldn't deny, though, that there was sin before Adam because of Satan. Did not like how he shown some clips of the incident in episode 1. I don't think you are wrong, but also this conversation bugs me deeply. What time do you think you will be done so I can click off until then? This is probably our last topic that we're doing, so feel free to leave, Christian manga channel. Like, still appreciate you coming on here. I will eventually read Trigon, so that's all it is. Podcast on read Trigon. Sounds like you need to pray for strength for this convo. Some conversations do not need to be had, especially when it comes to faith. Yeah, like, if you don't want to participate in the convo, like, feel free not to. Like, we appreciate you. We appreciate your conscience. So that's all good. All right.
Supernaturally, like the parting of the Red Sea, where God actually suspends the laws of nature to directly use his miraculous power. But God also does things providentially, like in the stories of Esther and Joseph, where God arranges all events in history to accomplish his purpose. That's why Genesis 50:20 says, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." Who caused Joseph to be sold into slavery? Was it his brothers or God? The answer is both. His brothers meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. God is like the author, and our universe is like a story that the author...
I like this. The reason why I love this is, again, like, because it's this sort of thinking which leads me down the Christian anime. Like, this is like, it's so cool. I'm appreciating that you're I appreciate that you enjoy commenting every day. So there was sin before Adam's fall, but no recorded death. Okay, cool. We just needed that affirmation there. I think, because when you say there was no sin before the fall, well, there was the. I really do not like this reformed use of the analogy. I think it goes way too far. but again, I think this is why I am lean, even though I'm still Baptist, right? I'm not like actually Reformed. I'm not a real Reformed person. But it's this sort of thing, right? It's this providentially, God doing things providentially. That's what drives my content, right? Which is me being someone of the being someone who creates Christian anime content, because that like it's this theology which drives it, that God is providential over all things. So there you go. I think you must explicitly address numerous different claims all throughout Genesis to justify a remotely evolutionary position. General principles do not override specific claims. We wouldn't call you weak either, Christian manga channel. So there you go. Am I prepared to defend it now? I think there are plenty of claims throughout Genesis 1 through to 11 which imply that the world wasn't created in 7 days. Like for example, should we bring up the text? Let's bring up the text so that we're... Oh, have I messed it up? Oh, no way. Let's bring you... I might have messed it up. Is that... Oh, what a load of twaddle that is. Oh, pain pecco. That's a shame. All right, it is what it is. Let's get up Genesis. This is probably the last thing which we'll go through. So my main point of contention usually is when coming to and also speaking literally, and you know what, let's cover it right now so that we don't have to do it. Okay, cool. So when we're reading through Genesis, the common theme is at the end of each day there is evening and there is morning the first day. There is evening, there was morning the second day. Also here as well, I think there's something like let there be light, and there was light, and he saw the light was good. I was about to make a point, but I think I was just yapping too hard. Let's not yap too hard. Okay, cool. My point is, right, at the end of each day, there's that common line. There was evening and there was morning the second day. There was evening, there was morning the third day. There was evening, there was morning the fourth day. There was evening, there was morning the fifth day. Here we go. There's evening, there was morning the sixth day. We go into the next day. Here we go. On the seventh day, what's written here? By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. And would you look at that? It doesn't say it. We don't see that same pattern of there was evening, there was morning, the seventh day. So press shift 2 on the keyboard. I'm not gonna press shift 2. I don't know what it is. You need to sleep, man. If it's 2:47 a.m. for you, good night. Get out of here. So there's that. Let's come to this bit as well. I think we're looking. You shall surely die. Yes, here we go. There's this bit as well. If we were reading Genesis absolutely literally, we have to read this literally as well. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. And the Lord God commanded the man, "You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die," or "you will surely die" is the translation I'm more aware with. But what happens though when they eat it? They didn't surely die. Here we go. When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom. She took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. Then the man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord God as he was made. Yeah, like they didn't certainly die at that moment. So there you go. Spiritual death. Yes. It's so. Even if you were saying, but if you were to read that literally, you wouldn't assume that that was a spiritual death. You would say, like, if you were to read this verse literally, it has to be like literally dying. It is a weird phrase, meaning dying, you will die. So like, for those people who are saying, oh, you have to read Genesis literally, like, there are certain parts of Genesis which aren't literal. So there you go. A technical analysis of the language in Hebrew renders the word for die in the line means doomed to die, meaning of like your death will become certain. Interesting. I think there was a historical Adam, but I also think parts of evolutionary theory are likely true. Yes, I use, what was it? Redeemed Zoomer has a model. His model for evolution is God created everything evolutional, like through all the animals through evolution, and then at the end, he sets apart like 2 humans and then grants them a soul, which is that's what I also affirm a historical Adam in that sense. So yeah. It wasn't a main force behind my conversion, but evolution is an extensively verifiable phenomena, and yet so are evidences for Christianity, so it doesn't hurt my faith. Only putting my 2 cents in. Yes, for real. I don't think evolution should hurt your faith. Like, as I said at the start of all of this, like if evolution was true, you still need God. So there you go. You could argue that Satan used that line to lie to Adam, and Eve said that yes, they won't die physically now, but due to their choices, they have the punishment of physical and spiritual death. I see. All right, cool. Oh, cool. We'll end on this note. Paleon's Remnant says, which is like, it's a brilliant fun fact. The Big Bang used to be rejected by many atheists because it says the material world had a beginning and its cause world would logically be non-material. So there you go. Which is why I don't think, like, ultimately, I don't think you need to be so opposed to scientific theories, because ultimately you still need a God behind them. Trevor says, the phrase "in the day that you eat it" in Hebrew does not always mean a literal 24-hour period in Hebrew. It can also mean at that time or eventually as a result, which is like, if I'm going to jump on that, right? Which is like, yes, for example, in 1 Kings 2:37, Solomon says Shimei that he will die on that day. He leaves his house, but he doesn't die that same day. It literally happens later. So there you go. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, cool. We'll end it with that today. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I still really appreciate you. So like we can still hold hands and still call ourselves brothers and sisters in Christ. So let's not use this as something that separates us or as something that divides us. So really appreciate you guys. Even though like the content of that jumped all over the place, I still appreciate you. So take care of yourself. I'll see you again. Maybe tomorrow. Question mark. We'll see. So I am currently working on a video. Yes. Oh yeah, no. I'm glad I made okay. I was gonna work on the Mashuka Tensei video today, but I finished it last night, so I don't have to worry about it today. God bless. Take care, everyone. See ya.